Welcome to Climate Quickies, bite-sized nuggets of climate goodness from our TEDxLondon experts in under 5 minutes.
In this week's Climate Curious Quickie, we hear from the co-founder of Latinas for Climate, Catalina Santelices. Living in Chile, Catalina regularly experiences firsthand the effects of a changing climate, droughts, floods, polluted food. Catalina mobilized a movement that embraces young Latina identities and perspectives, looking to amplify the voices of girls and women across the region. Over to Catalina to share the impacts they're already making at a regional, national, and global level, and how you can support them to achieve even more. Stay curious.
Hi, my name is Catalina Santelices. I am a 20 years old climate and ecofeminist activist from Chile. I'm a law student also here in Chile, and I am one of the co-founders of Latinas for Climate and a member of the Climate and Feminist Latin American Justice Circle in Hero. Chile faces a lot of different climate crisis consequences, a lot of different issues on climate because we're this really diverse country. So at the north, we have the most driest desert in the world, and that means that we have a lot of minerals and resources that the Global North Company really wants. So up north, the communities have to face the mining, and now it's a huge issue with the lithium because we have one of the biggest spots in the world to find lithium, and that will affect all the indigenous communities and the rural communities huge, because that takes a lot of water to take the lithium out of the soil. And if we move a little bit south, we'll found the central region where I am from, and it's a really Mediterranean kind of weather, and most of we live from the farms and the harvest, so that means a lot of deforestation, a lot of pressure on the soil, a lot of pesticides. If we move to the south, we have Patagonia. Most people know a lot of Patagonia, but what people don't know is that Patagonia is being destroyed now because of the salmon industry. They literally have farms for salmon, and in Chile we have one of the most polluted salmon in the world, and that's destroying thousands and thousands of kilometers of nature around Patagonia, the natural fjords, which are really pristine place in the world and really unique. It's being destroyed now for the salmon industry. And if we move a little south, we have Antarctica, which is also part of the national territory, and Antarctica is now facing also one of the hottest summers. Every summer it's getting even more hot weather, and that's destroying the ice. It's melting the ice, and that's making huge migration of penguins. And between Antarctica and the desert in the north, we have literally everything in between. We have a lot of islands, we have coast, we have mountains, we have over 25,000 glaciers. So you can imagine how our country is now one of the most impacted by the climate crisis. Chile now, we're in the middle of winter, and we are facing one of the biggest rainy seasons in over 50 years, where in July and now these past few days, over 1,000 of houses were completely flooded. The harvests were destroyed. Some people are dying. Lots of them lost their houses completely, and that's some unexpected way of the climate crisis is showing here in Chile, because in the other part of the region, we are now facing over more than 10 years of extreme drought, where they don't have enough water to get the farms going. It's really shocking to see, because I've never seen that before in my region. Personally, my dad lost some of his harvest, which is what he lives from. We in the global south, we're facing the climate crisis stronger than ever. But it's a global thing, because we see the news and we see all the fires in Greece, in Hawaii, the hurricane in Los Angeles, but no one is talking about Chile. And that's the thing that I realized these past few days, that even though literally over 30,000 people were affected by this. No one is talking about this in international level, where we don't have the money to stand back, and maybe the global north country can have the resources to build themselves after these climate disasters, but we can't, and no one is talking about us, and no one is here to support us. In this Hero Circle, it's with Latin American women from different countries. We are from Chile, Argentina, Peru, we're from Colombia, Mexico, Venezuela, and we identify as Latin women fighting for climate justice because we are a community that is really underrepresented in climate decision-making spaces. So we work trying to create awareness on climate crisis with the gender perspective. The climate crisis for us is not only the polar bear in the top of the iceberg that doesn't have food, but for us it's our lives, is our communities that have been facing these issues for over 10 years now, and we try to show the face of the women from the global south who are now in the present facing the climate crisis consequences, because no one is really talking about us, and we have to stand up for ourselves and for our future, because if we don't do it, no one will come here to really help us. Latin America is one of the most dangerous regions in the world to be a climate activist, because they literally kill us daily in most of our countries. I think that we Latinas have the strength to keep going on the climate activism, to keep moving forward. There's so many examples in our region that gives us hope. Ecuador had a national referendum for deciding if the country will allow or not an oil company inside a national park, and they said no. The whole country decided that they want to protect that national park, and that's one of the many examples that give me hope to continue my work. And for the Latinas, I really wish that we are able to break all the barriers that keeps us aside from the climate solutions that we need, because we as Latin American women, we are the only ones that are facing the realities in the front lines and who know what we really need as a solution for us, what's really gonna help us and our communities. We have different language even in Latin America. We share this common soul, I think, and a spirit that really makes us connect with each other and keep moving forward and don't give up, even though we have to face that many floodings, droughts, and the extractivism in our communities daily. Yeah, you can find our circle in the website herocircle.app. Hero is this platform that will allow climate activists and that really believes in us by giving us the financial support to don't have to have many side jobs, because Latin America it's must needed to have a side job to really survive as a young person. So Hero is supporting us on that, believes that climate activists need a financial support. I was able to take away one of my side jobs because I'm a law student, and I was doing 3 assistant professor jobs, which is a lot. But I was able to give up on 3 of them actually, thanks to the support of Hero. Thank you.
Thanks for listening to this quickie.
This episode was created by our superstar podcast team at TEDxLondon. Until next time,
stay curious.